For the start of Monday Night Raw, it's time to talk about the state of the Judgment Day. So, the Judgment Day storyline has been kind of parallel with the Bloodline storyline for a long time between Raw and SmackDown. Judgment Day being on Raw, Bloodline being on SmackDown. And it's been the major storyline for a few months, if not almost a year now, I would say. And there's been twists and turns and injuries that I think have kind of affected the way things are approached. But where it is now is actually a very interesting place that I didn't quite see it going. As it currently stands, we've got JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, Liv Morgan, and Carlito in Judgment Day, with Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley recently being, I guess, excommunicated from the group. And Damian Priest having lost his World Heavyweight Championship to Gunther, which I think was the right choice. We all knew that eventually Gunther was going to be the champion, and putting it at a major pay-per-view like SummerSlam was the right decision. Rhea Ripley had to vacate her title due to injury. She's now back, and that's very exciting, and I think she's the number one women's wrestler in the company, so it's great to have her back. I'm a big Liv Morgan fan as well, so I think it only made sense for her to get the title after Rhea, especially with where their story was going, how Liv is taking everything that Rhea had, including now Dominic. I've been a big fan personally of where they've gone and how they've made Liv kind of this. She's a heel, but she's kind of like a tweener, and so is Rhea, and that's a really interesting dynamic for them to feud. But where I think it needs to go from here is obviously Rhea and Damian are kind of facing the Judgment Day right now. They're trying to take down the Judgment Day, which only makes sense, but I don't think they should stay together after that. I think Rhea needs to take the title back eventually from Liv. Damian needs to defeat probably Finn. I would say Finn is his main number one nemesis now in the Judgment Day. I think that's going to be a great match as well. So when Rhea gets the title back and Damian finally defeats Finn, both of them moving forward as faces, so to speak, Priest more than Rhea, they need to go their separate ways. Priest needs to go back after the World Heavyweight title, which I can only think is still going to be Gunther by the time their story's done. I think he should hold it for a long time. Not as long as he held the IC title, but definitely a long time to make him a legit champion. But don't do what you did with Kofi, WWE, and completely take him out of the main event picture after he doesn't get the belt back. Let him get his rematch. Let him continue to strive and fight and claw to get back and stay in that main event circle. Lean into the fact that people didn't think he'd ever get to WWE, let alone a main event scene. Lean into that. Make him a hero like that. I think that would be a great thing for Damian Priest. He's super talented. And unfortunately, he is a bit on the older side. So you don't have probably as much time with him, even though he's a freak athlete, as much time with him as you would with a 20 something year old. So you need to use what you've got while you've got it. He's the hottest he's ever been in his career, so use that. And Rhea needs to continue to be pushed as your top woman in the company because that's what she is. Like I said, give her the title back eventually. Let Liv have a good reign with it. Maybe I would say maybe like Survivor Series or Royal Rumble. So like November, December, January area is when you can take the belt off of Liv, give her a few month long title reign, and let Rhea get it back and keep Liv there because I think there's a lot of story there. I'm interested to see where this goes because this is a different Judgment Day. And they are still called the Judgment Day, and I did want to touch on that was the thought apparently, and it was apparently Finn Balor's idea, was to change the name to Street Trash, and thank God all of the fans rebelled against that and made them make sure that, as according to current reports, they're going to keep Judgment Day and work the nickname Street Trash into the gimmick as to like, oh, we're just a bunch of street trash type, which is fine because that's like a moniker you call yourself, not like a stable name. If you were gonna change the stable name, because I do think it would be interesting to change it since the dynamics of the group are changing. I don't remember where I heard it, but I think I saw online someone had the idea to name them Toxic Influence. Now I get that's probably a little too close to Toxic Attraction from NXT days that they don't really like Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville and Gigi Dolan that they want to keep maybe away from that. But I think Toxic Influence perfectly encapsulates what this group has become, which is Liv's toxic influence. She's changed the minds of all the members, especially Finn and Dominic, away from Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley. So I think that would be a cool name. I'm fine with them keeping the Judgment Day name. And on a side note, Damian and Rhea, like I said, don't need to stay together, so don't create another Judgment Day type stable. Go let them be their own things. I think this is going to be a great storyline moving forward. I'm really interested in seeing how the group dynamics work out. Do Damian and Rhea work well together, or are they going to like hint at splitting them up by having them kind of have their differences? How's this Judgment Day version going to work? Is JD going to get jealous? Is Dominic and Liv going to split off and be their own thing eventually? What's Finn going to do? I'm a huge Finn Balor fan, so I really want him to continue to be in big storylines and for them to keep using his not only creative mind, but also his ability to wrestle. He's a fantastic wrestler. And gives a shout out to Carlito. Like, he's come back into the company and pretty much done everything they've asked him to do storyline wise, and he's been great. Carlito's a fantastic talent. I missed him. I'm glad he's back now. Glad he's been back for a few years, so that's been big. But yeah, I'm just feeling really hyped about this Judgment Day storyline as well as the Bloodline storyline on SmackDown. I think they're both going to be great moving forward. There's going to be great pay per view matches and storytelling. So, as a pro wrestling fan, as a WWE fan, I couldn't be happier with where they're taking it. Make sure to stay tuned for a bunch more wrestling content. I'm going to be talking a lot of wrestling moving forward and giving you guys my thoughts and opinions on what's going on in the companies. Also, make sure to tune in on Thursday to Cinco Squad. We got another great episode coming up this week. And follow us on all our social media platforms. All of them, you can find us at Cinco Squad Pod 05. Stay tuned, everybody. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.